The top 10 most hyped control style cards in Phantasmal Flames. Now we have 3 honorary mentions. First, Dawn. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, a Stage 1 evolution, and a Stage 2 evolution. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This supporter could potentially be insane in any grass deck running Forest of Vitality, like Mega Venusaur EX, though it could also work in any deck needing an odd Stage 1 and Stage 2 simultaneously. While it is your supporter for turn, unlike Ultra Ball, one does not need to discard any cards. Second, Grimsley's Move. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose a Darkness Pokemon you find there and put it directly onto your bench. Shuffle the other cards face down, put them on the bottom of your deck. You cannot play this on your first turn. This card could go off with any Stage 2 Darkness Pokemon, but offhand, 1 or 2 copies in any Darkness Pokemon deck could go crazy playing Secret Box to find both it and Academy at Night, and perhaps an Ultra Ball to go ahead and find your Stage 2 Pokemon to put into your hand. And third, we have Wonder Patch. Attach a basic Psychic Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. So, if Gardevoir needed more help, then this card is it. But I do think it makes any Psychic archetype more consistent. Attach for turn, discard another energy somehow, and then use Wonder Patch to attach it immediately. Now let's start the top 10. And at number 10, we have Mismagius EX. It has the ability Swirling Spell. If this Pokemon is your active, when your opponent switches in a new active Pokemon, that Pokemon is confused. 6 magic for 2 Psychic Energy does 150 base damage, and you draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Now this is made to be played with Vertigo Valley. Confused Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, don't recover from confusion when they evolve. And this card could be a good meme deck to travel the ladder, especially when paired with Excelgor. Poisonous Ploy leaves your opponent confused and poisoned, and then you retreat it to the bench and put something else in the active, in this case Mismagius EX. So you hit it with Excelgor, retreat into Mismagius, and then you put Air Balloon on Mismagius to retreat and do it all over again, or else just decide to hit with Mismagius and draw cards. At number 9, we have Rotom EX. It has the ability Multi-Adapter. Your Pokemon with Rotom in their name may have up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to them. That means cards like Surging Sparks Rotom can have 2 tools attached, like Handheld Fan. And like Mismagius EX, this card will probably give us a number of good times, but it will fall short in the competitive arena. We have 2 here at number 8. The first and more important card is Toxtricity. It has the ability Bad Upper. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a basic Darkness Energy and attach it to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon. If you do, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. You can attach for turn to Monkey Dory just to move those damage counters off if you like. This card can be paired with any Darkness Pokemon to accelerate it that much quicker, including the second card here, Mega Gengar EX. It has the ability Shadow Hiding. If one of your Darkness Pokemon is KO'd by damage from an attack from your opponent's EX Pokemon, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize card. So Darkness single prizers are now 0 prizers, so on and so forth. That means that if you have Mega Gengar on your bench, you can attach for turn, use Toxtricity's ability, and be ready to attack in one turn with Mega Gengar or anything else. Of course, this goes for any Darkness type, but maybe you want to include multiple Toxtricities to get more energy into play. At number 7, we have Ludicolo. It has the ability Excited Healing. Once during your turn, if you have a Grass Mega Pokemon EX in play, you may heal 60 damage from one of your Pokemon. If we substitute this card for Meganium in Mega Venusaur EX, we just healed 60 damage. Keep at least 1 Shuckle on the bench, and we heal 90 damage per turn with its Fermented Juice ability. That'd be an additional 30, I mean. So now, Venusaur has the capacity to be a real quote-unquote heal control deck, especially when considering a card like Wally's Compassion that can just wipe away all damage if it's too high for Ludicolo and Shuckle to work in tandem. At number 6, we have Empoleon EX. A Metal type, it has the ability Counter Stance. Prevent all effects done to this Pokemon by the attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. And Iron Phaser states, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 60 less damage from attacks. The ability is a built-in Mist Energy, and its attack effect makes it a tanking Pokemon with an effective 380 HP. Add Genesect EX with Steven's Metagross EX, and you can guarantee evolution and acceleration on your Empoleon. At number 5, we have Flygon. It has the ability Flapping Sand. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, or when this Pokemon is KO'd by an attack from one of your opponent's Pokemon, you may discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So that's 2 on evolution and then 2 on being KO'd for 4 total. You could argue that a 4-3-4 line could work, but it's really up to you. But I think with some additional help like Elgium with energy manipulation and Psyduck to stop Dusknoir, this really becomes a Baby Box archetype with a teenager Flygon as the main attraction. At number 4, we have Palmont. It has the attack Voltage Fists. For 2 lightning energy and 130 base damage, you may do 60 damage to this Pokemon. If you do, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Now, if any card has the opportunity to bring back Paralysis Lock, it's this one. Depending on your opponent's active Pokemon's health, you would move Palmont's damage counters with Monkey Dory to KO said Pokemon in order to force your opponent to bring something else into the active in order to paralyze it. Or else you just move those damage counters to the bench to KO something else. Either way, make sure you run a copy of Enhanced Hammer to ensure that any missed energies go away that would prevent paralysis. At number 3, we have Heat Burner. You must discard a basic fire energy from your hand to play this card. Choose a Pokemon tool, special energy, or a stadium card that your opponent has in play and discard it. Okay, so put a bunch of fire energies in your stall decks and voila, instant burning. You could run this card in tandem with both Ruffian, which states discard a Pokemon tool and a special energy for one of your opponent's Pokemon, though it is your supporter for turn, and the previously mentioned Enhanced Hammer, reserving Heat Burner for the stadiums. At number 2, we have Jumbo Ice Cream. Heal 80 damage from your active Pokemon that has 3 or more energy attached. Preferably paired with an attacking Mon, 2 control partners for this card are Crustle, which needs 3 energies to attack, as does Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX. It's also worth noting that both Mega and non-Mega Charizard EX, as well as Dragapult EX, need only 1 additional energy from their main attacks to utilize this card as well. And at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, we have Battle Coliseum, of which it is also translated as Battle Cage. It states, prevent all damage counters from being placed on benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, by the effects of the attacks or abilities used by the opponent's Pokemon. That means Monkey Dory's Adrenabrain ability, the Dusknoir line's Cursed Blast ability, Dragapult's Phantom Dive attack, and Frostlass's Freezing Shot ability are nullified against the bench. Granted, your opponent can just bump it, but maybe they don't, and maybe you run 4 copies and just bump them right back. Vulnerable single price decks, I think, will most likely benefit the most. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. What did I miss? Where am I wrong? Please leave a comment. Take care of yourselves, and may God hold you in the palm of his hand.